made it to the entrance to the Garnet Ghost Town. So we're gonna make our way down and go check this place out. So here we go, let's go check it out. Did you know Garnet got its name from those ruby-colored stones scattered all over the place? It was a prime spot for settling down, especially with those gold-rich mountains nearby. Talk about a gold rush. They had a bustling school, hardly any crime, and let me tell you, the liquor flowed freely in all those saloons. And don't even get me started with the bawdy houses. They were bustling too, with Missoula and Deer Lodge not far off for supplies. Let's just go back and imagine what it must have been like to be living up here in Montana in the late 1800s, hunting gold or mining for gold, enduring the harsh winters and mountain life in the late 1800s. Get a good feel for what it was like back then. Miners were on the move, heading north from tapped-out mines in California and Colorado. They started using a technique called placer mining, where they sift through sand and gravel with water to find gold. By 1870, that game was over in these parts, but the Garnet Mountains continued to call out to miners as they started finding gold again. First with traditional panning, then more advanced methods as they dug deeper. Heading out here, it is just amazing how many cabins they have. Back in 1895, a civic leader from the nearby Deer Lodge community and co-founder of what became the state hospital, Dr. Armistead Mitchell, set up this stent mill at the head of First Chance Gulch. It was like the starting gun for a whole new town. Originally they called it Mitchell, but by 1897 it had a new name, Garnet. Oh, look at there. We got a little rabbit running. Let's see if we can get it. So you get a good feel as you wander around Garnet, seeing all of the little cabins and different shops and bars and different areas around here for what it really must have been like back in the 1800s, living out here so far up in the mountains, mining for gold and just trying to make a living out here. And it's such an isolated place to try to get out here, and quite an amazing thing that it's preserved almost exactly as it was over 150 years ago. It's gone through several revisions over the years, so it finally just ended up becoming a full-fledged ghost town, and nobody lives here anymore, but it is a remnant of our spread across the West and the gold rush in the 1800s as people flooded to the area in seek of their own riches. It's just an eerie feeling standing out here and imagining a couple hundred people, maybe even 1,000 people living out in this area, trying to eke out a living and find their riches. Most of them didn't and had to move on to other occupations in other places, but it does give you a really good sense of what it was like. I don't know if I would have liked that too much. These homes with the doorways that are this tall, they weren't designed for a guy who's over 6 foot tall. They look like maybe they're 10 foot by 20 foot little cabins that people lived in. But you know, back in those days, it's probably all you needed is a place to get out of the weather. The rest of the time, you were hitting the mines. All right, so that's Garnet Ghost Town in Montana. We're now heading back up, and we're gonna head back down the mountain and head our way back to Missoula. check that out. So be ready for the next adventure coming up. The last of the snow right there.
You can really see it melting.
Oh yeah.